Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? This is I.M.C's blog. This is Friendships and Acquaintances Part 2. Now I know sometimes it can be hard to let go of a friendship, something that you've cherished for so long, a person that you really looked up to or they looked up to you. But in all due time, you know when certain things are coming to an end. Sometimes they might stop calling you, you might not hear from them for a long time. They might stop responding to your messages, or altogether they stop asking you to hang out with them and do things. Sometimes you still consider, oh, yeah, that's my friend. We'll tell people that, but deep down inside we know, man, she hasn't called me in like 3 months, or I haven't heard from him in like 5 years. And sometimes we try to mask all of that and act like everything's cool, but we know that it's not. And yes, sometimes it is hard to let go of friendships. Sometimes it's hard to let go of something that was magical, that was beautiful, but now it is all disintegrated and left. The way to deal with these type of problems is to just reflect. Look at the signs. Did they have this type of behavior when you met them? And throughout the friendship, how much of a friend were they to you? Were they always there for you, or were they always jealous of you? These are the signs and things that you need to look for. A lot of people don't look for these things because they figure, man, there's nothing I need to worry about. I know everything about them. That's what you think. But I promise you and guarantee you, you don't know everything about your friend. Now, you might be out one night shopping at a store, at a mall, or you may go to the movies, and you might happen to see your friend or supposed friend rolling with someone else. You'll look like, hey, so what's up? What's been going on? And sometimes they're so dumbfounded that you actually caught up with them that they don't have anything to say. Why? There's no conversation. They haven't spoken to you in about 4 or 5 years, and they're kind of surprised to see you in their element, especially when they're around someone else that's a mutual friend of yours that you guys knew from way back when. So sometimes, yes, it's hard to move on. Sometimes you might be at a particular place and you might call out to somebody and they keep walking and keep moving. When they do that, that's your duty to leave. Get out. Because if a person is ignoring you and you're trying to reach out to them and say, hey, what's up? What's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while. There's something that they might be hiding from you, or they just don't want to deal with you anymore and they don't know how to say it. So they might do the quick look and then just walk off like they didn't see you. I've had that happen many times in my life, and I had to realize, like, you know what? Whatever. It's fine. At least no one can ever say that I've tried to do that to them. But these are things that are a part of life. You're going to go through periods in your life where people are going to leave you sight unseen, and you're going to be wondering, like, yo, what's going on? I mean, sometimes you might try to do plans with a friend, or you guys might decide to hang out and you realize, like, yo, every time I've called them for like the last 3 weeks, they've always canceled. And it seems like they've never given you a reason why, right? You're wondering to yourself, like, why is it every time I call, they say, yo, I'll get back to you later, and then don't respond for like 5 days? And you might be thinking this in your head and thinking like, oh, I'm over exaggerating. They're just busy. They're doing something right now. They're taking care of what they gotta do. That may be true, but honestly, some people have just found nice, subtle ways of not letting you know, like, yo, listen, the friendship is over. That's it, we're done. They're not gonna tell you directly. They're just gonna find a nice, simple, easy way to do it without you getting wise to the fact. And that is why oftentimes they leave us feeling like we did something wrong. You weren't the one that was treacherous. You weren't the one that just disappeared out of nowhere. And you weren't the one that was ignoring the person. They did all those things. And sometimes they know how to make you feel guilty. They may not realize that or know that or think that they're making you feel that way. But it's like deep inside your mind, you're like, dang, yo, what did I do? Like, was it something I said? Was it a way that I acted? Listen, there's nothing you could have done to save that friendship. If the friendship disintegrated, it probably happened for a reason. I've seen people that I thought were great friends and, would stick together forever, but somewhere down the line, all of a sudden, They parted ways. And most of the time, it wasn't an amicable split. One person just left and the other person was left like, looking like, damn, you know, what's wrong with me? And let me tell you something, there is nothing wrong with you. If you've done all you can to be a good friend, you've listened, you've shared your wisdom and insight, you know, there are friends that have even given money to those who have been struggling, whether it been to pay their bills for the month, apartment, car, things like that. You know, if you've done above and beyond what a friend should do, then you're a great, amazing person. Don't let anybody make you feel any less of a good person. It's funny, we're oftentimes left feeling like we're the ones that did something wrong, like we're the ones that are guilty. But when people decide to stop messing with you altogether and they don't tell you a reason why, that's it. Sometimes it could be that your friend is just tired of your nonsense. You may do something subconsciously that you don't realize. You may act or talk in a certain way that they don't like, that in which they might feel is disrespectful. They're not going to tell you offhand because they're like, oh, well, that's just his or her personality. But sometimes you have to be real and direct with people, you know. If your friend is doing something that you don't like or they're acting in a certain manner, pull them to the side, talk to them. If they don't listen the first time, you know, that's it. You can, if you want, you can leave after that. But I'm saying, at least try to save your friendship. If you don't tell them that something's wrong, they're not gonna know. And they're gonna think, well, you know, they just left and didn't give me any explanation. You gotta be real with people. When someone is stressing you out or pissing you off, you have to let them know off the bat. Otherwise, it's gonna drive you crazy. People don't realize this. You know, I understand we all move in different circles. We all deal with different situations, different people, different levels of crazy, different levels of anxiety each and every day. But the main thing that you gotta do is speak. Open your mouth. Use your words. No matter how hurtful you think it's going to be. The truth is what people need. They may not want to hear it at the particular time, but the truth is what they need. And so that's what you got to do. Be honest. Tell them the truth. If someone's done something to offend you, let them know off the bat. Otherwise, if you just decide to come back into their life after years of not talking to them, they're going to think like, yo, you left because of that. Nah, you have to let people know the real, like, listen, I didn't like that you did X, Y, Z. You can't expect them to be a mind reader and know already what they've done. Just the same way, you yourself, if your friend has left you and just parted ways with you, you gotta ask why. You know, don't just go around and be like, man, yo, forget them. I'm not dealing with them anymore. I'm done. Why do that? Call them up and be like, listen, you know, I've been worried about you. I haven't heard from you in a while. I just want to see what's going on. Is everything okay? Is there anything that I can do? Was there anything that I did to offend you? These are the questions that you have to ask. And it seems like people are so afraid of offending this one and that one that they don't get the truth out. The thing is that if you have something to say and someone has wronged you, speak on it. Talk about it. Deal with it. You know? It's the same way if you have a problem with a family member, you know what I'm saying, or a colleague at work. You discuss the problem. You talk about it. Otherwise, it's going to keep on going on and on and on and on to the point that you're just going to explode. And that's not the right way to deal with things. When we explode, we don't think straight, we're upset, we're angry, and we're just left feeling like, man, you know, I shouldn't have done things that way. And that's how we feel sometimes. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I want you to do is talk to your friend. Let them know what they're doing, what they've been doing, so that they can stop it. Don't just up and leave and be like, yo, you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm tired of them. This, that. You know, if your friend is a gossiper, let them know. If your friend has done stuff behind your back that they don't know that you know, tell them and let them know. If your friend is not being real with you or has never been real with you from the beginning, let them know. Stop being afraid. Speak what's on your mind. Let people know what's going on in here. Let them hear. The more listening that they do, the less talking that will happen. And once they understand what you're saying, is direct, they'll have no choice but to be like, all right, I hear you. I'm sorry. Can we try to work this out? You know, that's the same thing with relationships. You can't just be dating somebody and then all of a sudden you decide like, yo, I'm gonna stop answering their calls. I'm not gonna go see them or their family. I'm gonna just be like, that's it, done. That's not the way to handle things either. You have to be mature enough to be like, listen, you've been doing X, Y, Z, and I've held this in for as long as I can, but I can't take it anymore. You need to stop. And sometimes when you tell people that they've done wrong, they take it the wrong way. They don't like the advice or the explanation that you give. So in their mind, they decide, well, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore if you're gonna be blah, 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 blah. There's no need for that. The thing is that a mature person will be calm and not react. They'll actually think before they speak. Because in a relationship, remember, it's two people, it's not one person. So whether you're a man dating a woman or you're a woman dating a man, you have to let your partner know that there are certain things that they're doing that you don't like. Otherwise, your relationship is not gonna go anywhere. If you constantly blame the man for this X, Y, Z, he's gonna feel like, man, every time I do something wrong, I could never do anything right for her. Or a man might be like, you're X, Y, Z, or A, B, C, and she might feel like, man, I can never do nothing right for him. And sometimes that can stem from insecurities. Now, insecurities are these little things that we have that don't make us perfect. Insecurities oftentimes make us afraid. We're afraid of certain things or afraid of someone finding out this or that about us. We may be insecure about going into a new relationship because the last relationship that you just had, your partner cheated on you or had a child with another woman. And you might be apprehensive about jumping into a relationship. So you got certain insecurities. And because of what your partner did in that last relationship, what you end up doing is you end up blaming this one and saying like, yo, you did this and that and that. Oh, you're just like him or you're just like her. And what happens is trust cannot build from that. I can remember I had a female friend years ago and we weren't dating or anything like that. This was just a female friend that I met through another friend of mine. And every time that we would get into arguments, she'd always say, oh, you're just like my boyfriend, you do this, you do that. And that would cause issues to the point that throughout our whole friendship, while we're hanging out and all that, you know what I mean, and talking on the phone, we had the most complicated friendship ever. And the thing was, at the end of the day, it was detrimental because now we are no longer friends. We stayed friends for 2 years, and then after that, everything dissolved. And the problem was is that when you keep on blaming somebody for issues or insecurities that you face in your past, you're making them feel like, yo, I can't trust them. If this is what they feel about me, I can't trust them. I can't do that. Because they have no trust. They don't trust in me, and I can't trust in them. And that's what's gonna happen. That is exactly the attitude that is gonna follow. That's the attitude that's gonna carry. Friendships are very complicated. Some friendships are based on love. Other friendships are based on popularity. And some friendships are just based by association. You know, like how they say in the industry, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that's very true. You know, I know we see a lot of these celebrities mingling together with each other, but the only reason why they're collaborating is because you have one person that is a mutual friend of both of theirs. Were that person not in the picture, I doubt that those two individuals would be together. Now, you may see some individuals that rock and that are just on stage and they just rock. But in actual real life, aside from their celebrity status, they're not rocking with each other. They're not at this one's house or that one's house. They're not even chilling with each other. They're dealing with their own worlds. They're just together for, you know, money purposes. And when I say some friendships are together by association, you know, if you find somebody, if you have a friend and they have a friend that's even more popular, you get to know them, you get to be in their circle, you know, different things might transpire. They might invite you to their house, to their wedding, you know, cruise ships, parties, I mean, different things of that nature. And that's by association. Friendships that are out of love are people that genuinely love you. They love to be around you. They love your personality, your aura, and they don't mind being around you. They don't care if you're rich or you're poor, you know? And even if you're on the come up, they'll be there with you. As I'm speaking, all these thoughts are coming to me, so I'm trying to make sure everything is as fresh in my mind. So I'm just bringing out these little things to you. And I want you to understand, whenever you're going through a situation with a friend, talk to them. Speak to them. Let them know, like, yo, I didn't like the way that you dealt with things in this manner or that manner. You know? That's how you have to do it. Like, you know, I remember a couple years ago, there was this brother that I knew, you know what I'm saying? Very upstanding brother. But a couple of years back, we got into a small argument, and he said something that offended me. And for months, we didn't speak. I didn't talk to him. I was like, that's it. And, you know, we weren't even tight, but it's just like, you know, you see people, y'all connect, you know what I'm saying? So for months, I didn't say anything to this dude until later on, when it transitioned from spring to fall, you know, he hit me up and he was like, yo, man, listen, I'm sorry for the way that I talked to you. It wasn't right. I was just stressed out that day. And I was like, no problem. And from that point on, since that moment, we've been tight. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people are not always going to see it the way that you see it. But he saw the situation. Even though me and him didn't talk for a period of months, he knew how I felt, you know? And sometimes people are just able to read you. Not everybody does that. But he saw the foresight and was like, yo, you know what? Let me go apologize to this brother. I was disrespectful to him. It wasn't right, you know? And that's what he did, you know? And we've been tight ever since, you know? Not every friendship is gonna be like that. Not everybody's gonna see your point of view. Some people might walk away in anger and never talk to you ever again, but at least they can never say that you didn't tell them the truth. And sometimes it may take them, or it might take them 15 to 20 years, which is too late, to realize the truth that they knew from the beginning, but because they were so angry in their heart, they weren't willing to see your side. They spent so many years not talking to you. They missed your wedding. They missed the birth of your children. They missed you moving up financially, successfully, mentally, spiritually. They missed all those things because they were angry of something that you did out of love. And a lot of people won't see it that way. So what I'm saying to you right now, it's 2018. This is a brand new year. Don't just go and walk off and X people out of your life. Talk to them. See what's going on inside their head. Work out your issues with them. If the issues can't be worked out, then so long and goodbye. But at least they can never say that you didn't try to work it out. Once again, this is the I.M.C. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out more of my stuff on Gabriel Productions. And until next time, this has been episode 2. Episode 3 is going to come real soon. Once again, I thank you for watching, all right? Take care. Peace.